Hello, and welcome to part 3 of, You know what? I'm committing to that. Welcome to part 3 of a 4-part series on building iCity. Part of my, Chill Builds series. This is, Oh, what a start, and I'm committing to that start. This part, we're going to finally make some progress on the ice castle. So I even stopped building the City of Ice for a while and went back to Dragonhearth for a bit, and I built some Dragonhearth, and then I came back because and even here, I just had no inspiration. So I built a copy of the 2 towers that I had previously in the front of the castle, and I kind of just built these in the hopes that I would get a better idea moving forward. So, and I did. It ended up working out wonderfully. I did forget to put the ice in the windows at the bottom of the towers. I do that off screen later on, but I promise you those windows do get filled with ice eventually. But here we go. Here's the second tower. This one's a little bit more submerged in snow, so the design starts a little bit lower down, I suppose you could say. So the bottom part of it is cut off, is what I mean by that. But anyway, so there we are, building our second tower of our ice castle. And then I move on, finally, to the proper castle. And I'll tell you what, I am pretty happy with it. It's pretty small out the back. I'd like to make it a bit bigger and more complex if I ever come back here. Maybe every December. Maybe this will be a yearly tradition that I'll make a video just building up the back of the ice castle and making the village bigger. Hopefully by now this is all recorded on the same day. All 4 parts of the City of Ice are recorded on the same day. None of them have been out yet, so if you've recommended a name, I have not seen said name yet. But hopefully by the next time I make a video on the Ice City, we'll have a name for it. Fingers crossed. So, we start off with just a big old block, and then I start to do the slanted roofs that I've done millions of times over at Dragonhearth to do those roofs. But this time, much bigger. Look at that. It's so big. It's just a big old pyramid. And then I do a smaller one right inside of it, and then I put a diamond-shaped ice window inside of that, which I think is great. I think that's a great centerpiece for the castle. I think that's a great start for the main building. And then these towers off here I quite like as well. So to start off with, I made everything symmetrical, but I believe these towers are the last thing out of this castle that remains symmetrical. Everything after this is sort of improvised and built unsymmetrical to either side, and I wanted it to feel like it sort of was a bunch of different builds clumped together a little bit in a sort of messy but grand castle sort of feel. The roofs on these 2 side towers here I don't like, but the actual towers themselves with the little ice stripes I really like. They kind of make me think of candy canes, so that's another holiday thing to think about. So I do go back and change the roofs though, thank God. But I start off with a wall there that's going to be part of the wall of the major castle. But I thought, well, you know, I can't just have a regular wall just like I built on the outside right there. So I go around and I actually make a second layer to that same wall. And then I make a staircase from that far tower up into that part of the wall. And that's the part of the wall you walk on. And I put some little diamonds there and filled those with snow. Oh man. Look at the little ice strippies coming off of the, oh, they're like little particles. They kind of look like ice strippies coming from the end rods that I've put for lighting, which I think that's part of one of the favorite parts of this build is those end rods as sort of icicles, glowing, powerful icicles. But anyways, here's me revamping the roof to those. I'm just making it a bit bigger and a bit more pointier, and I think that looks a lot better. And that's what I ended up sticking with. But yeah, and then I didn't want to make the whole build symmetrical, like I said. So I kind of start with this side, and I build a whole bunch off of this side. So right here, I'm building the stairs up, and then I build out, and then I build another little tower bit right here. And this tower bit goes into a little walkway, which I kind of like the way that it looks like you can see where someone might go from the castle onto the wall, without going through the front door and then walking up some stairs outside. They actually have to go through the castle to get on the wall or whatnot from this tower, and this tower's got a door that leads on. So I do quite like that. I think I wanted to build it from the ground up first here, and I'm glad I did that because it saved me some more work later on with the back, which I really struggled with, because the back doesn't have that sort of front-facing grandness to it. It's just sort of like the back of the castle, and that was difficult to me. So anyway, so there's the interior, and then here we go. I build a little step up because I didn't want it to be completely flat, and then we make some quartz pillars because I thought they looked nicer. And we go up a bit, and we build this. I quite like this sort of design here. This is sort of reminiscent, if you remember those houses before, with the ice spikes in the middle. So that's what I kind of did here, is I put an ice spike here, which that lore before that I have now made my favorite bit of lore about the Ice City is the part about ice spikes being used for structure. So it could be said that maybe there were some larger ice spikes that were here already and the castle was built around it, or that some ice spikes were cut down, almost like you do a log, carved out and sort of placed by the castle and in the castle to sort of add to its structural integrity a little more, even though the castle did actually use some stone to hold all the snow together, which was different than the regular buildings that did not use any snow. But there you go, you see the ice spikes peeking up at the top there, and I really like that. And then if you look at the bottom right, just to say it again, I'm really proud of that little design there I made, where I build up the subscribe button and then tear back down again. It was a lot harder to do than I anticipated, just because of my computer's processing power, but it ended up pretty cool. And it just reminds you that if you want to see everything get built to the end, even though it's in the intro, you can see kind of what it looks like, subscribe. And then you can also check out Dragonhearth. So if you like the sort of video style of these Christmas stuff, then you can watch Dragonhearth, where I build a medieval village, and that's sort of the main project that I have going on. And look at that, now we're starting on the left side of the castle. So again, this isn't quite at the same height as the wall I made to the right, and then I put some different windows in there because, like I said, I didn't want it to be symmetrical. So we have some different style windows there, and then another thing you can see if you look at the right side far off of there, you can see they're not even, and that wasn't intentional. That was the way I wanted it. But then here I go fixing the other roof. I like this shot, actually. I didn't think about how much I like this until just now, but look at that with the sunset off in the distance and all the clouds, billowing towards you as you watch the tower get built. And then I build a bigger block here. So, and this bigger block becomes a higher tower, because I wanted stuff to sort of, be taller than that central point, and I wanted this one, instead of just two little towers, I wanted it to be a bigger, thicker tower. So yeah, I end up circling around that little candy cane tower to fill it in, and then there we go. So I make some full ice windows there, and then I fill in the bottom with snow, and then instead of putting the stone stairs in each corner, I put some quartz blocks as the little support there instead. And then I sort of make a tower reminiscent of the little towers in the front, is kind of what the goal here was to do, but obviously much thicker and bigger. And I quite like this tower. It ends up looking, it looks like it fits with the architecture of the rest, because like I said, it's sort of built as just a bigger version of the towers I built originally at the front of the castle and off to the right and the left. So I did try and use the stone walls, but I gave up on that part right there. And then there we go, and then I end off the top of the tower with the battlements. And then I do kind of struggle after this layer with what I want to do down below, because the backside, you know, I don't want everything to look super symmetrical. I want it all to meld together and have a super unique look and have things like different bits of architecture going into different styles and stuff like that. So the side of that tower was a bit difficult, but oh yeah, I did. I built a wall there, and then I built another ice spike tower, I believe, right here, that was slightly bigger than the other two. You know, so right now, as far as the castle sits on the server, it's a bit lopsided, with the other side being taller than the right side, but I think it looks good. You know, and like I said, maybe next year I'll come back to the ice castle and we'll see if I want to change stuff. And maybe we'll change stuff, maybe we'll add stuff. You know, who knows? Maybe I'll have grown as a builder by then, and I'll come back and be like, this is all terrible, and tear it down and build something better. Who knows? Who knows? I really do think, though, that this is going to be a build that I come back to every December, unless, for whatever reason, people really, really like this build and want me to come back to it sooner. But I would definitely have to have a significant amount of people telling me that for me to come back to this build. I think I'd rather, if I wanted to do another build aside from like next to Dragonhearth, I think I'd rather come up with a brand new build. So if you would like to see another city on the server get built anywhere on the map, you know, let me know. Like, maybe you want to see sort of a Asian-inspired city, or maybe you want to see... Gosh, we already have a desert city, and I don't want to really intrude on them. What else? So there's Asia, sort of Africa, sort of deserty stuff. What kind of other architectures? Aztecian. Oh my goodness. Alright, listen. If the Chill Build series really kicks off and people seem to really enjoy it, I will pick up on an Aztec type of city, because there's lots of European-inspired things on this server, so we don't need European-style builds. You know, we want things influenced from literally any other continent, and I think there's a few different builds being planned that are sort of inspired by different parts of Asia and Africa as well. So I think I think South America would be the place to go next. That's, oh wow. All right, I want to go build a city like that now. I'm not gonna, but I wanna. So let me know. Maybe, I don't know, if my videos consistently seem to be growing in interest and people really enjoy them, maybe I'll pick up another city and we'll do 2 chill builds a week, for a little bit at least. We'll see. I work in movies, I make movies for a living, and my schedule can be kind of up in the air. So when I have a production that I'm working on, I am pretty busy and I don't have time for anything, and that's why I record the voiceovers for these videos in chunks, and then I just queue it up so that I don't have to worry about it for a very long time. So there you go. And here's me working on the back of the castle just a little bit, and I think the rest of the back will be finished off in the next and final episode, where I do a little bit of finishing off. I finish off the back of the castle, I do a little bit of housekeeping, and then that's it. That's the whole build. So, wow. Alright, we are getting super close to Christmas. And to those who celebrate other holidays, don't know what time of the month those are celebrated. I just know they usually everybody has a holiday around this time, if they have a holiday. So, whatever it may be, I hope you enjoy it, or have enjoyed it if it's earlier in the month, or whatnot, or are enjoying it if it's taking place right now, or nope, I'm out of ors. All right, so there you go. There's this episode done. This was 15 minutes long, which is pretty insane. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in our final episode.